This is actually from the Mercury. It was an article from in April, but I couldn't get it to pop up without some stupid ads covering everything. So this is from another similar article. This is just a summary. The first quarter of 2023 saw a 22% increase in foreclosure filings compared to the same time in 2022. While still under pre-pandemic levels, foreclosures activities have steadily gone up for 23 straight months. This was in April. During the pandemic, an estimated 2 million people fell behind on their mortgages. Meanwhile, the Biden administration to send out another 250 million in Ukraine aid announced on Tuesday. The $250 million will come from an existing stockpile. Earlier this year, the Pentagon announced that it had accidentally overestimated the shipment to Ukraine by billions of dollars. As a result, the Biden administration thinks it has more room to wiggle to deliver more weapons to Ukraine in this war against Russia. All right, so the areas with the most foreclosure in this have been cities such as New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, and Philadelphia. Michigan saw the highest increase in foreclosures with a 41% increase. Some of the metro areas with the highest foreclosure rates include Fayetteville, North Carolina, Cleveland, Ohio, Atlantic City, New Jersey, and Bakersfield, California. Meanwhile, the Biden administration has given over $100 billion in aid to Ukraine. It's mostly weapons, it's also cash that's being. A lot of these weapons are being found in the southern border for some reason. But anyways, I I really don't care what goes on in Ukraine or I mean for that matter anywhere that's not America. I really don't care what happens in Asia. I don't care what happens in Africa. I more so care about what happens on this side of the Atlantic. I do care about what happens in Canada. I do care about what happens in Mexico. I do care about what happens in Cuba. Why? Because they are our neighbors. And so is Russia to an extent because they're right next to Alaska. So I do care what happens to them because they're our neighbors and we should care about what happens to our neighbors. We should care if Mexico's struggling with their economy or their cartels, or we should care about how much of a dictator Justin Trudeau is turning into because he's right there. He's right next to us. So we should care about that. And Russia, I think we should be allies with Russia. They're a big country with lots of resources. They're an Orthodox. Their main religion is Orthodox Christianity. I think we should be allies with Russia, not enemies. And China, I mean, I really don't think we should worry all that much about China because I don't think a communist country can really be a long lasting threat. I think eventually they'll cave in on themselves just like the communists, just like the Soviet Union did. I think they'll eventually collapse and from what I've been hearing about their housing market, I think they probably will collapse. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I don't really think you need to do anything. I think that's just what happens to communist countries. They just eventually collapse because they can't. It's on a. It's a communist country is built on. It's like a house with no foundation. It's eventually it will fall. So I don't think we should worry all that much about China, and I think we should be allies with Russia. As much as I like Trump, I think Putin in some ways is better than Trump. I think he's more of an intellectual. He's been more aware of the deep state in Russia and the deep state in the West for a longer time. He's been fighting them off for a longer time. So I think he's smarter than Trump in some ways. And I think he's more aware of the deep state. And I think he knows how to negotiate around the deep state better than Trump. And it seems like Putin's been wanting to be an ally allied with the West for a long time, but the West has never wanted to accept Russia because they want to. I mean, really, they want to just take all of Russia's resources, and I think that for a lot of the leaders in the West, it goes beyond just the resources. I think they truly have a deep disdain for the Russian people. I really do think that they hate Russians, especially not America. I really don't think Americans hate Russia as much as people think. Maybe boomers because they grew up, hiding underneath their desks. But I don't care about Russia. People that I know that are my age don't care about Russia. I mean, we like Russian girls. I mean, that's just about as far as I know. I think they're pretty hot. They're Christian. I'm Christian. So, I mean, I feel nothing towards the Russian people. I mean, I think Putin's pretty smart. And I think we should be allies with him. It's really just England and Germany that hates Russia. That's really what's going on. And they're always goading America into backing every stupid war that they get into. And that includes, this war between Ukraine and Russia. So Biden needs to. I mean, I don't even know what the hell Biden's doing. Like, these are the areas that are most affected by foreclosure are Democratic run areas. Why aren't you helping them? I mean, I get it if you're not going to help Florida or Texas or Ohio because they didn't vote for you. But why not help the people that actually voted for you? Why? Because he doesn't care about you. The Biden administration doesn't care about you, and the people that control Biden, they hate you. They hate you. They hate me. They hate anybody that's not a rich elite. And even some of the rich elite they hate. Trump was rich. I don't know if he was an elitist, but he was very rich, and they hate him. So, excuse me. So, help your Democrat liberal friends be aware of what's going on. That the Biden administration, even though they voted for him, he's not doing anything to help them. This is mostly hurting people in liberal leftist areas. So that's it for the video. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Donate to the channel if you can. See you later.